Hello and welcome to Radical Living. I'm your host Shoeless Joe, and today we are talking about how to break bad habits. I'm breaking my habits tonight. Bad habits suck. No one likes repeatedly doing things over and over that they don't want to be doing, but we've somehow rewired our brains to do these things, these horrible things. So I'm here to help you learn how to stop. Now, I'm not a doctor or a psychologist or anything like that, so for a more serious, real addiction where you have like psychological and physical like addiction, like you literally can't stop. Like you need to seek help. You need to do a 7-step program. You need to call somebody. But if you're like me and you just have little bad habits that aren't as big, but they're still a problem and you want to get rid of them, then this is the video for you. Step 1 is conviction. You need to become convicted to giving up what it is that you've been doing. So take out a piece of paper, take out a pen or a pencil, and write down the reasons that you need to stop doing what you're doing. And it's got to be a need. Like it can't just be a want. Like, oh, you know, I wish I would stop overeating, or I wish I would stop smoking, or something like that. Because if it's just like you want to, it's not going to be as convincing. You're not going to be convicted. It needs to be, I need to do this for my health. I need to quit smoking because it's killing me. I need to quit playing video games because they're taking over my life. So step 1 is to write it all down, and then once you write it all down, you should read it to yourself every day first thing when you wake up. So when you wake up, you're going to read a little piece of paper that says, I am not going to drink Dr. Pepper anymore because it costs too much money and it's really bad for me and will probably end up giving me health problems and more health bills, and it's going to kill me in the end. It's going to be horrible. Step number 2 is to choose a date. You're going to pick a date, a very specific date that you are going to stop doing this habit. So maybe the date's significant, maybe it's not. Maybe it's going to be a specific birthday, or maybe it's going to be the next like Friday, like a specific day of the week, or Monday, you want to start a week fresh, something like that. But you're going to pick a date and you're going to write it in your calendar, last day for eating Cheetos. Then you're going to stick that calendar on the wall, bam, and look at it every day so that you're mentally preparing yourself for its coming. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to tell everyone that you know, hey, coming up on July 31st, I am going to stop playing with Pogs. And you're going to keep telling people. Tell the people you live with, tell the people you play with, you work with, tell all of the people, so that you will now have this thing called social pressure. Get people to call you on in a positive way and say, hey, help me out. I'm going to be giving up this thing and it's really hard. I mean, I love my Pogs. So you tell your close friends so that they can help you and encourage you, and then you tell your other people at work and your sort of acquaintances, just so that they can keep you in check if they see you like, hey dude, you're biting your nails, and I thought you said you quit biting your nails, you know? What's up with that? Then you'll just feel like kind of dumb being like, I know I just told you last week I was going to quit biting my nails, but I'm doing it again, so awkward. So you wrote down your convictions, you wrote it on the calendar, you told everyone you know. Now what you gotta do? Make a physical, visual representation of the habit that you are breaking. I recently stopped drinking Dr. Pepper, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but this can says last one ever.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
I keep this with me on my desk. So this just sits there staring at me. This is the last one ever. And these are all like sort of extrinsic, outside ways of telling yourself. You're telling yourself from the outside. You're telling other people so that they will tell you. You put it on your calendar so that it will keep reminding you. You write it on the can so it keeps telling you every day, that was the last one. I don't drink it anymore. So if it's like a physical thing you're trying to quit, like something like food related, like a specific food, or maybe if you think you can quit smoking cold turkey, I highly suggest you take that last Cheeto, that last cigarette butt, and you stick it on your desk or somewhere in your living room, somewhere that you're going to see it every day. Maybe in your bathroom, although you probably don't want people finding a cigarette butt just sitting on your sink, but hey. And then put a little sign on it, or write on it if you can. Last one ever. Last Cheeto ever. Last Pog I will ever tap, Pog, flick. What do you do with Pogs? I don't know. Last pog I will pog. And if you really want to go all out for it, you can tell all your friends about the date that you set to quit that Cheeto habit, and then you can have them all come. You could have a party. You could have a quitting party. Habit-breaking party. Yeah. And you can hold up your last one ever and write on it and decorate it and have everyone be like, yeah. Everyone could know. It could be such a community effort. That's the thing about stuff like this. It doesn't really work when you're just like in your room on January 1st, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stop drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell anyone about it because then I'll look stupid if I mess up, but I'm gonna do it. Because then you're giving yourself an out. You're saying when I mess up. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to when, we want to never. So if you tell everyone you know, then there is gonna be some repercussions, and that's what we want. We want that social pressure. Your family and friends just saying, hey, you said you wanted help with this, so I'm just letting you know, I see those orange fingertips. You've been hitting the Cheeto bag. Now, it's also important that, if possible, you replace your bad habit with a better one. Preferably something that is similar but not so bad. And also somewhat enjoyable. Like, you don't want to replace Cheetos with carrots if you don't like carrots. So you might want to replace cigarettes with, like, gum or a patch or an e-cigarette or, like, cigars? I don't know. I don't smoke. But if you're trying to watch so much TV or go on the internet so much, maybe replace that with reading a book. But a good book. Make sure it's a good book. These replacements will come in most handy if you can predict when it is that you usually are going to fall into your bad habit. So maybe you always watch TV or always hit the Cheetos right when you get out of work. In that case, you need to make sure that when you're on your way home from work, you're telling yourself, you're thinking, okay, I know I usually watch TV. Today I'm just going to read a book. Today I'm just going to go on a jog. Today I'm just going to whatever. Or if you usually smoke in the car when you're driving, before you get in the car, you need to get out your gum or your patches or your e-cigs or whatever and say, okay, this is what I'm doing instead. Or maybe you're just going to like blast the music and sing to distract yourself. Whatever it is you need to do, you need to figure that out through trial and error. If carrot sticks don't work to replace Cheetos and you still just find yourself eating Cheetos again, don't just quit and be like, well, that didn't work. Try again. Find something else. Google it. When I was trying to quit pop, I just Googled best pop replacements or best soda replacements, depending on where you're from, or best Coke replacements, although that might get a little weird. Or a little awesome. So figure out when you usually commit your bad habit and find a replacement. My last tip for you is to think of some kind of mental personal mantra you can say to yourself. I think I got this from Leo Babauta? I don't know how to say his name. He's a well-known minimalist blogger, and when he quit smoking, he came up with the mantra NOPE, N-O-P-E, which he had standing for not one puff ever. Because with smoking, he realized that he might just tell himself, oh, I'll just have one smoke here with this friend, or I'll just have this one because I'm really stressed out today, but I won't do it anymore after that. Nope, not one ever. That's the idea. And I use the same thing kind of with Dr. Pepper. I just switch out puff for pop and say, not one pop ever, not one pop ever. So that when I'm at a staff meeting and they bust out the drinks and there's a beautiful Coca-Cola, I say, no, not one pop ever. Stay on that wagon. Stay on the wagon. And if it's a food habit that you're trying to break, a great way to do that is maybe put something on your fridge, like a picture of like a terrifying dragon devil thing, just reminding you the horrors of what will happen if you do this thing. It's so hard to break these little habits because it's like that one Dr. Pepper, if you drink it, it's not going to really affect your health that much. Like, one Dr. Pepper isn't going to ruin you and make you super obese or make you have diabetes or like give you cancer. And on the flip side, not drinking that one Dr. Pepper and saying no to yourself isn't going to make you any healthier. It's not. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't drink that one Dr. Pepper and now I can run 10,000 miles. But it's all of these little things that make up who you are. All the little decisions define you, really. It's kind of like the conundrum of voting. It's like, well, my one tiny vote doesn't really matter, but yet everyone's tiny votes matter when you put them all together. That's what like small choices are. They're all of the votes together. And the thing is, you do all the voting. You make all the votes. Every time you eat that Cheeto or you say no to that Cheeto, you're voting. You're voting for your health. You're voting for your happiness. You're voting for becoming who you want to become. So who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for the you that you want to be? Are you going to vote for the best version of yourself? Or are you going to vote for the selfish you, the part of you that just wants to have pleasure and doesn't really care about future consequences? A vote for Cheetos is a vote for death. I've given up Dr. Pepper so many times, but I know that this time it's going to stick because I've got this thing reminding me every day on my desk and I've got my family and friends to support me. It can feel kind of stupid giving up something like a soda drink because there are people with so many worse addictions to drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and that kind of stuff. But this was a vice in my life. This was a problem that I needed to fix. Let us know in the comments below what habits you have that you're trying to break and what things have been helpful for you. If we all work together, we can say goodbye to those bad habits and goodbye to Dr. Pepper. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, keep it simple, question everything, and stay radical. It's like